What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Andrew Marlowe Studios. We're here for another sketchbook tour. I know I've been promising different types of videos, but just haven't really figured out exactly the type of art video that I want to make. Apart from the sketchbook updates, I'm always sketching, always really working hard on the drawings and the sketchbook. So, I really enjoy sharing that process with you. And also, real quick, before we start into the sketchbook, I did get this new Monet easel. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a later video. Yeah, this is what it looks like. It even says Monet on there. It's like a portable easel, super adjustable, super convenient, super sturdy. It's just a really well-made easel. It's good for bringing outdoors. I don't really paint outdoors that much, but maybe someday I will. It's got a nice little drawer here to put all your painting supplies in. In my case, it's drawing supplies, so it works really well for just putting this little box of pencils in here. Obviously you don't have to keep it out like that, but if you just kind of go like this, there's a back to it. Folds up by the legs. You can adjust pretty much everything on here. You can pull this down so it's nice and snug on your painting or drawing. You can raise this, raise the legs, and obviously there's a handle here for when you're carrying around your easel and whatnot. So yeah, anyway, let's get to the sketchbook tour. So this is another newsprint sketchbook, fairly large, as you can see. So we basically just started with this little portrait / figure study. I really love this one. It's on my Instagram at Andrew Marlowe Artist. Make sure you guys go check that out. And this was done with carbon pencil and Conte pencil, but at the time, I didn't like the feel of the Conte pencils. They tend to have kind of a scratchy quality to them. I think I actually mentioned that in my Instagram post. But I really enjoy working with them. But the smooth quality that you see here is from the carbon pencil. And carbon pencil, I don't know exactly what it is. I guess they just call them Wolf's Carbon. But the quality and the smoothness that you get from it and the richness is just beautiful, and you can kind of see that with the hair and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, if you want something kind of like charcoal but not as smudgy, I would definitely recommend the Wolf's Carbon pencil. Go with like a 4B or a 6B. Get some more gestures. And gesture is, it's kind of a long-term endeavor. It's not something that you're going to get overnight. But if you stick with it, you'll really start to see the results. And yeah, it's just a really great way to kind of warm up. It's trying to get the structure of the body in there as well. Here we got a nice page of hand bone studies. Pretty cool. I think I did a decent job with that. Just gonna bring this down a tad bit. That should be good. Just trying to understand how the bones kind of go in and they go out and then they go in, and then very complicated. Not much volume to this, unfortunately. They're just more like sort of flat images. Okay, so we got another little rendered portrait here. I really enjoyed working on this one. I don't think I posted this one because I just thought it was just a little too sketchy, but let me know if you guys think I should post it. Maybe I will. Yeah, I definitely like the mood. I really like the face. Might have been maybe a 20-minute, half an hour sketch, something along those lines. Overall, came out pretty solid. Here's some Loomis heads mixed in with a couple head lay-ins. I really like this one, and I drew this one off the top of my head. It looks kind of neat, and I like this one. And a lot of the head lay-ins are all the same model, all the same woman from the Stan Prokopanka website. I just picked her photos in particular because she has a good blend of soft female features, but also like her body has a lot of anatomy too. She's not super overweight. I actually prefer more overweight women for my art. But just for the sake of learning more anatomy and stuff, I use her for gesture because she's kind of lean, but she's also, very soft and stuff too. So it just kind of works. And yeah, I like her face too. She kind of has like a pointy nose and stuff. Interesting hair. So yeah, I think her name is Marcia. So yeah, I use her. They sell like model packages on there. You can buy, photo shoots from different models, male, female, skinny, overweight. So yeah, I just picked her just because I find her aesthetically pleasing. I really like this page of the head lay-ins. Head lay-ins is something I sort of got inspired to do by Jeff Watts. Just really wanted to start, just being a little bit more proficient in sketching heads quickly instead of necessarily spending all day on one portrait. You can do little quick sketches like this, and under 30 minutes, maybe spend 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes on each head. Here's another page of head lay-ins. I think this is Marcia again. I didn't make her look very good in that, unfortunately. Same woman here. This is a different woman down at the bottom. I think most people can probably tell. I really like this, the way this page was developed. Just kind of starts out really sketchy, kind of creepy looking, and then gets better as it goes down towards that bottom sketch here on the bottom. And yeah, it's really good just to practice drawing a lot of heads, but also, not necessarily trying to capture likeness, but just trying to capture the anatomy and capture proportion. That's almost more important. Here's a nice little page of hands that we did here. Trying different poses. I think most of these were instructional videos from Proco that I worked on. Super great resource. And I encourage you guys to, try to find something like that, whether it's, Stan Prokopenko or Watts Atelier or some of the other, like New Masters Academy. There's just an incredible amount of resources out there to get better. Here's another sort of head lay-in / skull anatomy. I got the 3-dimensional skull on the Proco website that you can use. You have to pay for these, but it's definitely worth it because you can study from them again and again and again. Super cool. It's just it would be very hard to pose something in some of these poses. Just like I like having my physical skull, to maybe do still lifes and to study from. That's important too, but it's just it would be impossible to put it, to rotate it, unless I had the digital version. So that's super important. I got another head lay-in of Marcia down there, a giant head lay-in there. Really like the overall flow of this page. And I think this sketchbook in particular, you can sort of tell that things are starting to come together. I'm sort of trying to dissect the process, trying to get better. Things are getting a little easier, a little more loose. I'm getting a little more confident perhaps than some of the earlier sketchbooks. Voluptuous sketches here. That's the thing with gesture. You don't have to worry about likeness or detail. It's just more about the motion and the flow and just the attitude of the pose. And that's what I really like about doing them. I have a rather large scale gesture sketch here. Gesture sketch. That's a tongue twister. Gesture sketch. Anyway, so we got the indication of the rib cage under here. Still trying to attempt to indicate that without it looking too much like a double pair of, this. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. If anybody else struggles with that, let me know. I think I'm just going a little too hard with the lines. I think I need to make it softer to make it look more like ribs underneath skin, that sort of thing. These are just some little lines. I'll have to just record a sketching video for you guys. I would be a little bit nervous, because I feel like I'm on the spot or something. But I think people would really enjoy. If you guys want me to just make a sketchbook video of how I do my sketchbooks as opposed to just talking about them, let me know. Lately, I've just kind of liked the format of sort of analyzing them after the fact. Here's some hand sketches. Started with the bone, then we did a little bit of the muscle, and then we got into just more gestural, tonal stuff. Just really trying to focus on, the structure of the hand, the mood, different poses. Really cool stuff there. Some more hand studies. And the Proco, if you buy his anatomy course, it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $150 or something. It's not very expensive. You can buy different packages. So for example, this is the hand section, and you can have a 3-dimensional hand bone, arm bone, and then you have a 3-dimensional bone with muscle, and then you have a 3-dimensional. He breaks it down in a really interesting way, so you can kind of learn really well. So yeah, I went through a hand stage a couple weeks ago, just really trying to learn hands, and then you move on to something else, and then you kind of go back and you do it over and over and over and over. And you have to really start to learn to enjoy this whole process. If you don't if you can't enjoy it, then you're not going to be able to do it. And yeah, it's going to be frustrating at times. A little bit more to this drawing at the bottom there, but I think you guys get the idea. We'll try to keep it fairly user-friendly, but again, a little page of head lay-ins. I really like this one. Same model with these two, different woman down here actually. A little bit more voluptuous type of model, but I really just like having the 3 heads on the page, how her hair is just kind of is just crazily going all over the page. She's kind of looking downwards. Here's another one. This is a completely different model from a different art thing. Really like the sort of the way she's sort of looking off like this. This was maybe a 7 or 8 minute sketch. I just really wanted to loosen up and just try to get as much information into the drawing as possible. So that was sort of my thinking process for this. Here's a sketch of just random heads that I did, a little bit of a figure study, a couple figure studies here. Don't remember who these people are off the top of my head, not that it matters, but I really like this page. And they're just like little vignettes, little quick 5-10 minute sketches. And I was not able to do this even 6 months ago. It would have taken me like all day just to get a head to look right or something. But with a lot of proficient practice, I've been able just to kind of loosely sketch in some semi-decent heads. I'm not saying they're great, but they have kind of a nice little illustrative mood to them. So yeah, I really appreciate that quality. Some of you guys might have seen this on my Instagram. Super cool drawing. This was fairly quick. I think maybe I took a break. It was maybe an hour and a half render. Really like this one. I'm trying to draw more realistically and paint and draw imperfections of different types of people, stretch marks, loose skin, cellulite, that kind of thing. So that's really what I'm after with this. I like the way that the gravity just kind of works, makes it look real. A little bit of anatomy here. I really like how the hair stands out. The only thing for me is the eyes are a little too far apart, but it just kind of works. It's a nice little study. Yeah, just really, if you start working on this newsprint, you'll just start flowing. So these are more like this is what you call mannequinizing the figure. I think this might have been watching an instructional video, just following along, try to get the concepts down. Mannequinizing is sort of like just adding a little bit more structural detail to the robo bean, so to speak, but not necessarily working on anatomy. But the structure, like everything kind of builds upon itself. You have gesture, and then you have the bean, then you have the robo bean, then you have the mannequinization, and then you kind of start getting into the anatomy. Here's another page of head lay-ins. Just really practicing the different mode. This was an old Renaissance painting that I was inspired by. This is somebody famous. I just can't remember which celebrity it is. I think that might have been Marcia again up on the top. So just another little page of head lay-ins. Just really enjoying that process as well. And I think I did this a couple days ago, day before yesterday, before we finished this sketchbook. Just a little, I think I did this with the Conte pencil, just a rough little figure sketch, focusing on some details and more about the mood and the gesture. But with sketchbooks, with these type of sketchbooks with the cardboard backing, right here, or where is it? You can see the cardboard there. Once you get closer to the back of the sketchbook, the texture of the cardboard kind of starts interfering with your drawings, unfortunately. So that's why it's a little bit rougher. But I do like this sketch. I think I did a pretty decent job with the overall flow of it. You can see the motion of her legs and her torso and her arms and the hair and all that stuff. And that is the end of this sketchbook. I'll show you guys the cover. And I did duct tape this. It looks like it's falling apart on me. So yeah, I recommend not bending these all the way back. Try to, I'll show you guys. If you're gonna like bend these, do it kind of like this. Leave a little bit of slack, like that. That way it's not gonna tear at the back and put too much weight on it. So anyway, yeah, super proud of that sketchbook. And it's time to put this sketchbook away and move on to the next one. We've already started another one. And I actually have another little sketchbook here, just specifically for head lay-ins. Maybe I'll show you guys that too real quick. So yeah, we'll just take a little quick gander at this. Nothing too serious, only a few pages. This is just specifically for head lay-ins, like I said. Nothing. This is not a long sketchbook. It's only a few pages. So yeah, leave a little bit of slack up at the top. That way it doesn't create too much tension at the bottom. Little head lay-in figure sketch. Kind of goofy looking on this one, but not too bad. It's like just enough room to do a head and a little bit of the torso. That's kind of why I like the size of this. I really like this page. I think I did a nice job with the top one. So just trying to get more and more proficient with different things, you know, incorporating different aspects of different methods. Here's another page, different moods and modes. You know, some of them are really good, some of them are not so good, but that's just the process, you know, you have to get kind of used to that. I think my brother was making fun of me on this one here. Kind of goofy looking, but not too bad. It's got a nice little angle to it. But yeah, so that's, yeah, just a little, that's the last page of, the last page that we've finished. We have a lot more to go on this sketchbook, but just a little head lay-in sketchbook just to kind of give me something to focus on. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.